Yo, what up, Wiggity WyattzWorld? Never doing that again. Happy Friday, everybody. So, in recent videos, I've had a couple of requests to guess every quarterback's job if they weren't an NFL quarterback. I think that's a fantastic idea, although I'm gonna tweak it for today, and we're gonna do it with head coaches, just because we've been talking an awful lot about quarterbacks lately. Anybody thinking I'm abandoning franchise, guys? I'm not. I just had a short week, so I didn't really have time for it, and I'm gonna be honest, Madden is the last thing on this planet that I want to play right now. Couple of quick plugs as always. You can use code WyattzWorld on G Fuel or Prize Picks. On G Fuel, it'll save you 20% on any G Fuel products, and on Prize Picks, it'll match up to $100 of your first deposit. But as always, remember to play responsibly, and let's get into today's video. Okay guys, so super quick, I just want to let you know that we're going to be doing this differently. The tier list is only here to guide us through it, but when we're talking about the coaches, we're going to be looking at pictures because we kind of need to. So the first head coach we got is going to be the Cardinals' brand new head coach, Jonathan Gannon. I'm going to say he'd be working on True TV on a TV show called Impractical Jokers under the name James Murray. It's a striking resemblance, really. Okay, so moving on now, we got the Falcons with Arthur Smith. This screams Little League Baseball coach, but it screams a specific kind of Little League Baseball coach. The heavier set non-athletic coaches who are really bad but somehow claim they can teach the sport. That's what Arthur Smith would be. Now we've got the Ravens and John Harbaugh. He'd be a cop. He looks like a cop. I don't know how to describe it, but he looks like a police officer. Officer Harbaugh. Sounds like it too. I know I pronounce his name wrong. Don't yell at me. For what it's worth, he looks like a nice cop though. He looks like a cop that would let you off with a warning if you were going 10 over. Now we got Sugar Sean McDermott of the Bills. I think he would be an adult film star under the name Johnny Sins. Don't hate me because I'm right. It's either that or he'd be a comedian with the stage name of Bill Burr. I mean, what are we doing here? Now we are on to Frank Reich of the Panthers. Construction worker, and not just any construction worker. He looks like a guy who's worked at the same job for like 50 years to the point where he's climbed the ranks and he's now the foreman of it all. He just drinks coffee and tells people what to do all day. All right, now we got the Bears, Matt Eberflus or Uberflus or whatever. He looks like a prosecutor, district attorney, state attorney, lawyer, whatever. He looks like somebody you would see in a courthouse whose job it is to get you in trouble. Like, he looks like someone who's an asshole. He's literally just like Mr. Burns, except Mr. Burns wasn't a prosecutor, but they look alike. And now we've got Zach Taylor. Bus driver. Screams it, actually. I don't know what it is, but he would be a bus driver for elementary school specifically. And the kids would bully the absolute piss out of him every single day. One of those kind of bus drivers. Now we're on to K-Dog Stefanski. Physical therapist. That or a chiropractor, one of the two. I don't know if it's the shirt in this picture or what, but that's what he looks like. Even right here, he kind of looks like a chiropractor-ish person. Someone in that field. Now we've got Mike McCarthy. Other than competitive eating, this is the physical definition of a semi-truck driver. He drives around, talks to people on his CB radio, listens to music, and drinks a lot of Budweiser. And now we're on to Sean Payton of the Broncos. He would be really successful and he would own a company, but every single one of his employees would hate his guts. He looks like a Jeff Bezos type of guy. You know, super energetic and chipper all the time, but just deep down's a total piece of shit. That's him. All right, now we got Dan Campbell, gym teacher, and is anybody gonna disagree with that? Huge jacked white guy who obviously used to play sports. Now we got Matt LaFleur, bartender in the worst kind of bartender possible. He's the kind of bartender that sees you every weekend but still IDs you. Never says thank you when you tip him. Never smiles either, thinks he's better than everybody at the restaurant, should be a manager, but realistically is on the verge of getting fired because his attitude is horrible. Now we got D'Amico Ryans, real estate agent, he sells houses. Looks like he'd be good at it too. Look at this smile. That is a friendly son of a bitch right there. I'd buy a house from him. All right, now we got the Colts with, I'm gonna butcher it, but Shane Steichen. He's an actor by the name of Dak Shepard. Are you kidding? Now we got Doug Peterson of the Jags. High school ladies volleyball coach or softball coach, but specifically a ladies coach. He looks like someone who coaches girls sports. Am I not lying there? Because please back me up. Doug Peterson is literally one of these guys. And now we'll move on to Andy Reid. Tell you what, I've worked with a lot of forklift drivers before, and this is one of them. This is a man who shows up to the same job for 50 years, never makes a comment, never says a word. Half the people there don't know he even exists. And then after work, every day goes to the same bar and gets the same meal and then goes home and goes to bed. Now it's time for Brandon Staley of the Chargers. He looks like a doctor who would accidentally kill someone during surgery and then blame everybody there but himself. Now we got Sean McVay, car salesman, and this is the most obvious one I've ever seen. If you walked into a dealership, he would be the kind of guy that sprints up there before you could even take a breath of the air and says, "What are we doing? What can I help you with?" Spiked up hair, 5 o'clock shadow, everything to a T, Sean. Now we got Josh McDaniels. Other than looking very similar to Mike Vrabel in this picture, I'm gonna say like Burger King manager or something. He looks pretty natural with that headset on. I couldn't picture him without it, so. And now we got Mike McDaniel. He would be an IT guy or a GameStop manager, one of the two. And that one goes without a lot of thinking. I mean, just look at him. Looks like he smells like you threw an onion in a microwave. All right, Kevin O'Connell time. He's a guy who cuts grass in the summer and plows driveways in the winter and probably plows your wife when you're at work. I mean, he's a big athletic dude. He's not sitting in some office. Now we got Bill Belichick. He would be the president of the United States, and he would also turn it into a monarchy, and he would never leave. He would have like 5 terms in a row, and he would just pretty much be Putin. Bill, it's time to go. Your second term's up.
Yeah, well, I'm not ready to go yet, so get over it.
All right, now we are on to Dennis Allen in the Saints. A fry cook. He looks like a guy who has been working at a restaurant his entire life. He just hops from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant, claiming he's eventually gonna get out of that work life and just never does. All right, now we're on to Brian Daboll of the Giants. He would be a professional wrestler. And then during the holiday season, he would grow out his beard and he would be a mall Santa, because tell me he doesn't look like the nicest, sweetest man you've ever met in your life. And look at his face. This is the kind of look I give Nick Chubb. All right, now we're on to Robert Saleh. Oh yeah, he looks like an asshole. I'm gonna guess he's a principal of a school. No, an assistant principal. He's the discipline guy. He's the one that punishes kids. That's exactly who he is. And then he's got a stupid son who gets away with absolutely everything. He's also a YouTuber by the name of FouseyTube. Okay, they might actually be related. That's crazy. Now it's time for Nick Sirianni. Looks like he like lays shingles or carpet, or he's a contractor or something. It might be the pencil coming out of the ear, but some kind of smaller construction job. He seems like a hands-on worker. Okay, Mike Tomlin. He would be a high school football varsity coach, and he'd be a really good one. The coaching scheme fits him. That just looks like him. If he wasn't coaching football, he'd be coaching baseball. Like, he is a coach. All right, now we're on to Pete Carroll. Damn, Pete has always had gray hair, huh? Anyway, he's a veterinarian. He fixes animals. He fixes your dog. He's a very nice guy. He's got very loyal customers who have gone to him for generations upon generations. He would also have a YouTube channel where he reviews chewing gum. Now we got Kyle Shanahan, accountant or someone who works at a place like Capital One. This guy looks like an NPC. He looks like he would star in Free Guy. Now we got Todd Bowell Movements. You know, a janitor, and that's probably what he's gonna be after about week 7 of this year. I get it, he's a father, he's got a family. But my goodness, do I think he is an awful coach. Now we are on to Mike Vrabel. He'd be a bouncer at a bar. He's one of those guys, it doesn't matter how old he is, he can always knock the shit out of you if he needs to. Let me see your ID. Oh, I don't have it, sir. Then get out of here. That's the kind of bouncer he'd be. And ending, we've got Ron Rivera for now. He somehow still has a job. Gas station employee. This looks like a legitimate employee of the month picture. Could you not see this on like a Quick Trip, Holiday, 7-Eleven, Wawa, whatever? You walk in and you see Ron right there smiling at you? That's what he would be. Alright guys, and that is going to be all for today's video of me predicting what every head coach's job would be if they were not an NFL head coach. These videos are meant to be fun. They're supposed to be made for your guys' enjoyment, so if you take it serious and get upset at it, I really don't know. For those who did enjoy it, show any support or let me know what the other jobs you think these guys would fit into. With everything I just said though, I'm going to hop off and get this edited so you guys can watch it on time. Have a fantastic weekend, and as always, I will see you in the next video.